Hello and welcome to a spooky episode of Go Williams Lake. With Halloween just around the corner, we decided to explore some of the unexplainable mysteries of Williams Lake and tap into the world of the undead.
So what I do is I actually read from the four realms. So I don't read past, future, present necessarily.
Okay.
I read from the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. You have a lot of personality cards, which are your knights, your kings, any of your less than numbers. And so that tells us a lot about the different personality and the different things that are coming into you, and that's what you're coming into a really good time of creating new things.
Okay, well thank you very much for the reading. That was quite interesting, pretty awesome. Now I hear that you've had some paranormal activity.
Yes, I have some really interesting pictures that I've been collecting over the years.
Now, before we go into these photos, did you know that Williams Lake is full of unexplainable mysteries as well?
Good afternoon, and welcome to downtown Williams Lake, where there's stories that you had no idea were hiding around every corner.
It's that time of year again when spirits wander the streets even in daylight and ghosts circle the old cowboy town.
Let's get started by hearing some of the stories right around our local corners.
To the untrained eye, these buildings and streets look like any other, but to Mary, it's a playground full of unexplainable mysteries and hidden stories.
There are many fires that happen in our community. Is it a firebug? Is it a poltergeist? You decide. So just recently we lost the Bank of Commerce. It used to be right here across the street from us, but it was moved next to Red Shreds. But then just this past summer it burned. Suspicious circumstances. But a story that happened at the Bank of Commerce in the 1950s. The manager had spent a long evening working hard, and at 11 o'clock at night, finally he closed up the bank. As he left, a gentleman stranger came up and said, "Going my way, sir?" They walked together to the corner until he pulled a gun on him. Mr. Hellier, he tried very hard to get away, and in the end, he was shot in the gut. The man escaped. Now in the same area, just across the street, fire claims another building. Right across from us, a fabulous building, the Maple Leaf Hotel, moved in 2 different instances, and in the end, taken by fire.
Mary Forbes is a well-known member of the community and an archaeologist by trade. Her knowledge about Williams Lake is mind-blowing.
I do guided historic walks here in Williams Lake in a period costume throughout the year, from winter right through to summer, the heat of the summer and the freezing cold of the winter. And it just makes sense to do a Halloween tour as well.
During Halloween, she calls upon her unique family gift and awakens her inner ghoul.
My interest in the supernatural has always been there. I have some family members that are quite clairvoyant, or they have the ability to see things that not everybody sees. What looks like an everyday parking lot downtown Williams Lake has a ghoulish story behind it. Did you know that St. Peter's Anglican Church was originally located behind me? This was considered the suburbs of Williams Lake because everything was down by the station house.
Mary is the president of the Potato House, and ironically, it's one of the most well-known haunted places in town. And did I mention mysterious activities still happen nearly every day?
If you come a little bit closer, you can see history still stands in Williams Lake. Our historic and haunted Potato House. The Potato House, built in the 1930s, their housekeeper worked at the Maple Leaf Hotel, and she passed away in the Potato House. Her beloved husband, when she passed, wouldn't live with her anymore. Well, her corporeal spirit. But she's still there today. Many of the doors will lock and won't open until she decides that you can come into the room.
Creepy, isn't it? But to the spiritually sensitive Mary, having a resident spirit around is enjoyable.
Alcina has been nothing but a pleasure to have on site. And Mr. Quintella was very clear that the reason he was selling it to us is because we were going to maintain the house and the site, because his wife had passed away there and she did love the property so much.
Others are not so comfortable with the undead.
I was one of the first ones to get in there when we first gained access to the building, and I went in on my own and did a photo shoot. And it was after that photo shoot that I learned about Alcina's death in the house, and I wasn't really aware that there were doors shutting and stuff like that. So that's kind of creepy that I was in there by myself, and I'm glad that I didn't run across that.
Alcina is not a shy spirit either. Many have seen her tricks.
While we were there on both times, I had the doors lock on me and I couldn't get them open, and I would go to leave out to my car to get my cell phone to call Mary, because I'm like, do you have a key for the doors? And I would go inside and nobody else is in the house and the doors would be open. And it would be open before, and I would like leave the room like to go upstairs, and I'd come back downstairs and it's closed and locked. Nobody else in the potato house. And there's also like an old doctor's bag on the floor. It was in one spot, and I was there by myself setting up. And when I had come back in, it was moved across the room on the other side of the room by the stairs.
You can find Mary dressed up as the undead at the first Williams Lake Zombie Walk on Halloween. For Go Williams Lake, I'm Christina Jung.
So one day I went to visit my dad and chat with him, and it's actually kind of funny because no one would believe that it was actually January that year in Williams Lake, and you'll see the grass at the graveyard. Anyway, so I was chatting away with Dad, and I said, I wanted a hug, and I said, can I take your picture? And so I took my camera and I just took a bunch of pictures around me. And then when I got home, I loaded them up on my computer, and there was this picture of this big pink being. We'll come up to the next ones in a bit. The only other time that I got a picture of this big pink being, and I have hundreds of pictures of colored beings. Never had one pink before like this, or this color pink. I was telling my cousin at a family picnic in Washington, and I said I should take your picture because Dad's probably here with us since I've called him in, and so there was the big pink one. And see, there's also a little blue one here.
Yeah, there is.
Now that's my guide. I have another couple of them, as well as this one. Now I have hundreds of this one as well, which is quite a bit different. And it's green with purple in the middle. And actually that's the color of Archangel Metatron, and so I was thinking maybe that's him. This one I actually took in Sedona, and I was moving. It scared my son. He didn't like this picture at all, and he doesn't always like the work that I do. But anyway, I thought this was really cool, and I thought, oh my God, it's like there's a man manifesting in this picture here. False Creek. Yeah, that's how I used to live on False Creek. Just the next one.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I took the picture of the blue guy. I was walking home, and those were friends of Bella's, and I was actually going to throw out the picture because one of Bella's friends is, doing some private business. And so I was just going to throw it away when I saw the blue guy, and I went, oh my God, and that was the first time I saw the blue guy. So I actually thought he lived over here in the park.
Coming up after the break, it's the apocalypse we've all been fearing: zombies.
This one is taken out in Glendale Acres Trailer Park. I just love this picture. I thought this looks like a dog's face here, sort of.
Oh, I kind of see like a demon-y face. Oh,
well, and that's what it scared a few people. I found a portal downtown in Williams Lake. Now I know there's one, like it goes almost from like 4th Avenue or 5th Avenue to 2nd Avenue, maybe to the railroad tracks.
Okay.
I haven't seen how far it went that way, but I know it stops just before Safeway, so I think it's right on the street at 5th Avenue. So it includes the Alston Theater and all those businesses that are in it. And what I find is when I'm doing things in those areas, I see way more stuff happen.
Speaking of all these spirits, what is your take on zombies?
Zombies? Well, I actually have never been asked that question before. My take on zombies is it's something from a lower realm of a past time.
Now our next story actually brings us to a haunted house that's full of zombies.
It looks like the spirits of Halloween has taken over the local Boys and Girls Youth Center. This year, the club has become infested with zombies. Zombies that are deemed so dangerous, you need a soldier to escort you through.
Ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
Oh, well, you guys are taking part in our 7th annual haunted house at the Boys and Girls Club here. Theme is zombie theme. Well, each year has been a separate theme, so I guess the big hot item is zombies this year, so I guess that's where the youth and the staff just picked the themes of zombies.
Although entertaining and fun, the haunted house is more than just a Halloween event. For admission, the club accepts a monetary donation or non-perishable food items, which goes a long way.
Please. We're starving. Please. So long.
The money raised will go into just our programming, whether it's a youth center or after-school program or any other programs like out trips and stuff like that for the youth and children.
With the amount of support and activities the club provides, it's no wonder teenagers are gladly taking the time to help volunteer on a Saturday night.
We've been doing it every year, and yeah, I've been a part of it ever since. Always fun, just giving amusement for people around town, and then all of us, we get amused here. We started a bit late this year. Like, we actually pretty much just started the setup yesterday, and we got everything together and everything done by 5:30 today. It's pretty fast.
I have been here for 2 years, but this is my first haunted house. It's just like, it's kind of a good feeling to know you're doing something for the community.
But don't let this family event fool you. The club intends to scare any brave soul that dare to conquer the zombies.
You were like so scared. It's not even funny how scared you were.
The part where there was the girl under the bed and the one on the bed trying to grab you.
What was your favorite part?
I don't think I had any.
Again? What part made you cry?
when the zombies were coming after you, and then the next part was like when they jumped out and went like had those noises coming into you.
If you missed out on this year's haunted house, don't fret. They'll have another spooktacular one next year. For Go Williams Lake, I'm Christina Jung.
All right, help these guys out. They need some food.
That wraps up this spooktacular episode of Go Williams Lake. Visit me on Facebook, Twitter, or even our website to see what I'm up to.